Hey, how's it going? David Taub here. Hope all's going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. And today I have 6 things that you should say no to as a musician, artist, guitar player. You know, for the longest time in the industry, the mantra was say yes to everything, right? Don't say no to anything. Take everything you get your hands on. And I think, you know, in today's modern times, with everything going on with social media and all the platforms and everything, you have to be a little bit more careful on what you say yes to, and you kind of have to learn how to say no to things, and that's okay. Just remember this one pearl of wisdom, and I read this once, and it really stayed with me. Time is the raw material of creation. And creating consumes, right? So you really have to be careful of your time and don't spread yourself too thin. You just have to be careful how much you say yes to, or you're going to find yourself doing all of these things, all this stuff that is going to distract you from your true creative and musical goals. And I'm going to give you 6 tips on some things that you should really consider saying no to. The first one I think that we all need to say no to as musicians or artists, creative folk, is saying no to playing for free. Say no to these quote-unquote exposure gigs, right? And you know the gigs I'm talking about, where a person will be telling you, oh yeah, we can't pay you, but you'll get plenty of exposure. There'll be lots of people there. Or, oh, we can't pay you, but, you know, we'll pay you in beer, or we'll pay you in food. You have to say no to these for a lot of reasons. Now, I'm not talking about like benefit gigs or, you know, charity gigs or gigs for a good cause. That's different. Playing for free in general. Because what that does is every time you say yes to those gigs, it devalues music and it devalues musicians, and it ruins it for everybody. And it also creates this precedent amongst, you know, bar and club owners or promoters that, we don't have to pay musicians. Well, you know, they'll do it for free, or worse yet, they'll pay to play. There's just no advantage to taking gigs that's going to enrich someone else or line their pockets and do nothing for you or your band. It's a little bit different if you're a newbie or you're a band that's just starting out. You might have to take a few gigs just to get some experience under your belt, or as a newbie, you have to build your network a little bit. But that's just it. But after that, you know, you got to say no. Next things you have to say no to, in my opinion, are projects that you're not really passionate about. Projects that you're not really interested in, or don't provide some type of value to you musically, for your musical growth, or monetarily, you know, because time is such a premium, and all this time that you spend on these other projects are going to pull you away from what you really want to accomplish, what your real and true creative and musical goals are. So don't let these side projects get you pulled off course. Say no to letting popularity or letting these numbers, right, determine your worth, your musical worth as an artist, right? And it's easy to obsess about these things. We all do it, to obsess about the number of views you're getting, or the number of streams, the numbers of downloads, the number of subscribers, you know, these metrics. It's so easy in today's worldwide web, you know, to obsess about these numbers. And you can't let these algorithms determine your musical worth. Just remember that if your music has not found an audience yet, it doesn't necessarily mean that your songs are not good. Look at what's popular today, right? There's a lot of empty musical calories at the top, right? So, you know, higher streaming numbers does not equate necessarily with talent. The next thing we want to say no to is releasing unfinished songs, or songs that have bad audio quality to them. You don't want potential fans that maybe haven't heard your stuff, the first thing they hear is to hear a bad recording of a song, or a bad like live tape or live performance that you did 10 years ago with shitty audio recording, right? There's no value in posting stuff like that. You know, some people say, well, it's content, put it up. No, you don't want crappy audio recordings to reach the public. You know, you have a very small window to capture a fan from the first time they hear your music, right? And if your first time fan is listening to your unfinished song, you know, with bad audio or just crappy recording, you know, they're probably not going to be that into it. And they're going to be like, not interested in this. And then you lost them. And very hard to get someone back, say, oh, listen to this one. Don't let crappy recordings out into the public. First, and please subscribe to the channel. You know, subscribing to the channel, that really helps us to keep bringing the content. And please ring that subscription bell, because then you'll be notified when I have new lessons posted. Also, I'll leave a comment below. Let me know what lessons you'd like to see coming up. Let me know how you like this lesson. And if you like the video, please click the like button. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. Another thing we need to say no to is we need to say no to distractions. And this is a hard one, right? Because there's so many distractions all around us all the time. But you have to remain laser focused on your musical goals, on your creative goals, right? And when you're creating or working on your stuff, there's times when you got to turn the cell phone off. You got to turn it off. You got to turn the social media off, right? You got to schedule your uninterrupted practice time. These are the things that are going to help us get to our goals, and getting to our goals requires eliminating the distractions. And the last thing that we need to say no to as musicians and artists is we need to say no to unreliable people. People that aren't going to be there for you, or people that don't have their shit together. And you know the kind of people I'm talking about in the industry, right? People that, won't return your phone calls in a reasonable amount of time, or they don't email you back, right? Or they're so wrapped up in their own world and it's all about them and not about you or your band, right? Or at least a mutual type of arrangement, a mutual partnership. And these people, they won't help enough, or they won't chip in. They won't do their part. Or, I'm talking about like, promoters who say, oh yeah, we'll promote your band, we're going to do all the promotion, and they just release a Facebook post or an Instagram post, one post or two posts. That's not marketing, right? That's just announcing the show. That's not marketing. Marketing is hard work that takes a lot of posts and a lot of work across lots of platforms, right? Just not putting a show announcement out. That's not marketing, but that's what they say. But yet they say that person may say they're a promoter, right? What are you promoting? Or maybe the promoter that tells you the show is one date, the date gets canceled, it's somewhere else, it's in a different venue. Things just aren't lining up. And if you get that taste in your mouth that from the beginning that, oh man, this person, they're going to be a nightmare to deal with, right? Walk away, because it's only going to get worse. So walk away from the start. And just like with any industry, there's plenty of good people in this industry that work hard and get things done, and that'll be totally straight with you. And then like with anything, there's people that are good at their jobs, and there are people that are not so good at their jobs, right? And you got to weed the not so good ones out. We have to say no to investing our time, our energies in unreliable people who don't give back at the same rate that we're giving them. Saying no is a necessary thing, right? But when you do say no, that you always say it tactfully and with respect, and be polite, because you don't want to burn any bridges, especially in the music business, right? Because everybody is connected one way or another, and word gets around fast. And a lot of times when I say no, the first thing I'll say is, hey man, thank you so much for thinking of me. I really appreciate the opportunity. However, at this time, I'm going to need to respectfully decline because of obligations of time, and I'm involved with this and this, and I just don't think I'll have the time to put forward to what's necessary, right, to give it my 100%. But thank you. See, again, I thank them for the opportunity, appreciative, nice. Who could be mad at that response? And the other thing that I do is, I try to point them in the direction of someone else if I can't help them. And I kind of word it like, hey, I can't do this, but I think I know someone who might be available. Let me give you their number, give them a call, or here's their email address. Drop them an email, and perhaps they can help you with this. And that's always a good thing, because then you're helping getting work for other people in your network, and you're also helping that person out potentially, right? Even though you can't do it, but you're still working with people and still building your network, and you're still saving these relationships so they call you next time. So there's 6 things to say no to. Leave me a comment below and let me know some of the things that you feel it's necessary to say no to as a musician or an artist. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because that really helps us to keep bringing the content, right? And ring that subscription bell so you'll be notified when I have new lessons posted. And also click on the link in the description box below. I'll send you a free video lesson and a killer reference ebook that'll really help you along your guitar and music journey. Thank you so much for watching. So appreciate your support, and keep up all that hard work on those guitars or whatever instrument you play or sing or whatnot. Stay positive, and remember, your guitar playing is an evolution, so enjoy the journey.